So I'm going to try to make this video quick. Every time I've done it, it's keep either messing it up or it's taking way too long. And I just need to make it short, simple. I'm going to try to keep this around 10 to 15 minutes. It's a lot to unpack. But so last year on December 20th, 2024, I went into the hospital because the left side of my body had gone numb. And I couldn't really move my left leg. I was limping around, felt like this thing weighed an extra 100 pounds. And kind of, scared me. It made me think I was having a stroke. But it turns out it was the complete opposite. I was in there for 4 days, went through a bunch of different tests, MRIs, lumbar puncture. Then on January 8th of this year, I was given an official diagnosis of a rare form of multiple sclerosis called Balos concentric sclerosis, which is a rare subvariant. And was a huge shock to me. I didn't know what I was going to do at the time. And just really scared me because I thought it was going to take me away from this. And being able to climb trees and do tree work is what I love to do more than anything in the world. I can't imagine doing anything else. And it just broke my heart to think that I wouldn't be able to get up in a tree again. But I proved myself wrong there. As you can see, I'm about 55, 60 feet up in a catalpa tree in my backyard. And this tree has a little bit of sentimental to me because this is actually the first tree I climbed after I started feeling better, which was probably in, I want to say somewhere around mid-June of this year. I was able to climb again, slowly, really slowly, but I was able to get back up into the tree and start doing tree work. I've still only climbed I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 times this year, which is a lot less than I've ever climbed since I started doing this about 10 years ago. It's been a long road and it's been really difficult, but I've been able to bounce back, and not with medication though. Every time I've tried to take medication for MS, I've had adverse reactions, even to the basic stuff that they give everybody, which is steroids. When they gave me steroids, I had such a rare allergic reaction that the pharmacist actually came into my room and said that my reaction to it would probably end up in a case study because it's so rare, which seems to be the theme of this whole journey, really. Even the Balos concentric is incredibly rare among people who have MS. And MS itself is a rare disease. I think somewhere to the tune of about 1 million people in the United States have MS, so that's less than 1%. And worldwide, it's like 3 million or just over, at least what they have data on. So, and it's, you might know someone who has MS. It's become it's become a lot more known, which is good because more and more testing is done, studying has been done on it, new treatments have been done. But it all started for me after finding a baseline and finding a normal, something I've never really had before. After talking with specialists too at Barnes Jewish Hospital, where I recently went and got my MRIs done, my symptoms more than likely started sometime in 2020 or 2021. My first physical symptom, and I didn't even know it was MS or even think anything about it, was May 11th, 2022. And I only know that because I still have the photos from that day, and it was kind of a memorable day because it was such a hot day for early May. I believe the heat index was like 108, 106, somewhere around there. And it was so hot that one of the ground guys actually got picked up in an ambulance and had to go to the hospital because he had a heat stroke. It was pretty bad. And my first symptom after that day, I was in the tree for probably about 8 hours, and the top part of my left foot had gone numb. And I talked to my mentor, Mike Casper, about it, seeing if he'd ever experienced anything about that. And he was like, no, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, huh. And that symptom went on for about a month or two. And then it just kind of went away, and I never thought about it again. Not until this diagnosis, and thinking about it over this year and trying to figure out when this really started. And the very first early symptoms were probably just me slowing down. Over the past past 4 or 5 years or so, I've really just kind of slowed down in general. I'm still active. I still climb trees, and I do quite a bit, more than most. And never really thought nothing about it. Other people are telling me, "Oh, you're moving slow. You're moving slow." I'm like, I'm trying not to, but I don't know. I drank a lot and smoked marijuana, and I always just chalked it up to that. And I smoked cigarettes. I'd been smoking cigarettes for 17 years until the day I got out of the hospital, which was on Christmas Eve of last year. And when I got out, I smoked one last cigarette, and I haven't smoked another one since. And I have radically changed my diet and just the way I live in general. When I first went into the hospital, I weighed 246 pounds. And now I float between 175 and 180. And between losing all that weight and throwing off all my vices, I have really bounced back over this year. And it's been a long, hard journey. And I couldn't have done it without the support of friends and family. And especially the people I work for, who are really close friends as well. Rick Stassi and Brent Naylor. If you guys are watching this, I just want to say thank you again. From the bottom of my heart, seriously, thank you for giving me the grace that you have over this year. Because if I hadn't been working for them, I'm not sure that any other company that I had worked for would have given me the same grace, because I couldn't climb. From January all the way till June, and even then I couldn't really climb. And I wasn't really cutting. I cut here and there, but I was mainly doing groundwork, which was a blessing just to even be able to do that, just to be able to still be allowed to show up and just try. And because I was not moving well at all. I was moving pretty slow. I had a really bad limp, and I was pretty much just dragging my left foot everywhere. Half my strength was gone, and I really couldn't do much, but I was still trying, and I was determined to keep going and not stop. I was not going to let this disease define me and cripple me and not be able to do this anymore. This is the most important thing in my life, being able to climb trees. And the main reason I'm doing these videos is because I just want to bring awareness to MS and, other people who have MS, and show them that, you're not out for the count. You're still capable. You can still keep living a normal, productive life. I heard you can't always control your situation, but you can control your attitude toward it. And that has been a big part of my mindset through all of this, is just keeping a good attitude toward all of it and just trying to be as positive as possible and just to keep moving forward. But I just want to keep making these videos, and I'm going to make a longer video on my actual full MS story, but I'm going to put that on YouTube because Facebook doesn't really like long videos, and it probably won't really like that I'm making this video as long as I am, but I'm still going to do it. But one of the comforts I found was finding other people's MS stories, and one of the stories I found was from another climber, Spencer Schaefer. He's 50-something years old. He's had multiple sclerosis for 17 years, 10 of which have been diagnosed, and he still climbs and still works and still gets at it. And that was a huge inspiration to me to see that, and to see someone else in my industry was still, doing this. And it gave me a lot of hope and a lot of push to keep, going forward. And I just want to be able to give that to somebody else and just kind of tell my story and show my life with MS, and hopefully it brings someone else some hope that I got from watching all those videos and just trying to find an understanding of this disease. For anybody who doesn't know, MS is an autoimmune disease that attacks your nervous system. It's essentially your white blood cells attacking yourself. And the way I was described, it was like, picture your nervous system kind of like electrical cords, but being chewed up by your white blood cells. So it looks like a ratty extension cord, and the signals can't get through your body normally. And it can be very debilitating for some people. Some people just wake up one day and they're completely numb. They're completely paralyzed or blind. It affects everybody in various different ways. Each person who has MS, it's pretty unique. And that's why it's so hard to diagnose and to figure out, how to treat, because even the best medicines don't work for some people like me, That's why I've kind of went the natural route of adopting a paleo diet and trying to eat as clean as possible. And between that and quitting all my vices, I have bounced back and flourished even. And I'm in it's kind of messed up, but I'm in the best shape of my life, honestly. And besides the MS, obviously, I'm still numb in my left leg, and my balance is off. I get a lot of cog fog too, but sorry, but other than that, I'm still able to live a normal, productive life and to keep going. And yeah, so this is kind of my introduction video, and for people who don't know, well, now you do. And yeah, I'm going to start a YouTube channel where I'll be posting the longer stuff, and if you feel interested or inclined, you can go and watch that if you have the time. If you made it to the end of this video, I thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. The YouTube channel isn't out yet, but it'll be called Phoenix Roots when it comes out. I've always been akin to the Phoenix. It's kind of been something I've correlated with my journey, just rising from the ashes and rebuilding myself and trying to just make the best of this. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's helped me along the way, and again, especially Rick Stassi and Brent Ayler. You guys have done more for me than I can ever repay you for. And I just want, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you again. And thank you for anybody who decides to watch and pay attention to this and try to learn about this disease with me, because I still don't know. I've had it for a year and I still don't know everything. And I'm going to probably be learning about it for the rest of my life, because neurologists and specialists who spend their whole life learning this disease. So I imagine I'll do the same. So thank you again, and stay tuned for more.